my cheese, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. Ikamalam Kuphumelela Goduka, aka Lundi Goduka, aka The Gods. This is a long overdue video. Long overdue for me and long overdue for anyone else who would like to know how the birth of my child happened or came about. I'm finding it very imperative to shoot this video primarily because I want to document it for myself. Some things I've already forgotten, guys, but this is something very important. It was a very big shift in my life. As you guys know, if you've been following me for a while, I've spoken vocally about this a number of times, that I did not plan to have a child, but you'll take one by the adequate for being mama. So I fell pregnant end of mid-July. I fell pregnant. I remember the date was the 17th of July, although my partner but obviously I'm a girl, I'll remember all those dates. I fell pregnant on the 17th of July and I gave birth on the 25th of March 2022. So basically this video is to help anyone who happens to be pregnant and didn't plan to have a child and is going through a difficult time, especially with an issue of having to give birth at a public hospital. I'm here to tell you that you're going to be okay and you will make it to the other side, and it will only get easier. It can only get better. So if you're interested in that, please stick around. Anyway guys, where do I begin? Let me begin from the start. Obviously guys, if you guys have been following me and have watched my pregnancy announcement video, or my pregnancy diary, you guys might know that I am obviously not on medical aid. I didn't have medical aid but when I fell pregnant, and you cannot get medical aid after you have fallen pregnant because it is treated as a pre-existing pregnancy, because my partner and I tried to get medical aid for me so that I don't have to go the public route, but I do go the public route, and then guys, it wasn't a 10 out of 10 experience, but grow with the story. Anyway guys, I've been down by clinic obviously in Cambridge in East London. That's where I was based when I fell pregnant. I was still a student, so I was using the clinic, which I 10 out of 10 recommend. It's a Cambridge. If you are in East London, I don't know how legal this is, but try and find a friend around the area. Try and find a friend around the area and just say that you live within the area, because my catchment area was basically fair, and I was not going to go to the fair clinic. I don't know what it's called. But I went there and it was just terrible, until the sister at Click said to me, go to Cambridge, because she used to be a nurse there. And Yangi got an address, because luckily my boyfriend's mom's house was in Cambridge, so I used their address, guys, and everything went well. Obviously I had my emotions, which you can catch up on with pregnancy diary, but I was basically in the public system. So it was the 23rd of March and I was due for my clinic visit. We go there weekly or fortnightly or monthly, depending on your pregnancy, whether you're high risk or not, and we already ascertained that I was high risk, so I was at the clinic a lot. And there's bending because can't finish my place and finish in the guys, I have to focus on my post because I let degree in the iPhone, which I got with 14 distinctions. So I was a lot. But anyway, in the clinic the 23rd, I was scheduled for a checkup basically. And I've been doing the reason I was high risk was because of my heart rate was very, very high, and also I had high blood pressure. I was diagnosed with high blood pressure, gestational high blood pressure. So luckily, and I was prone to it because my mom had diabetes and my dad had diabetes. But now I guess generally, but the only thing I was diagnosed with was high blood pressure. The high blood pressure did not necessarily manifest itself like that. Didn't have blurry vision. I didn't get like major headaches or anything of the sort. So I was grateful to that. But I was going for my general checkup, and the sister picked up my high blood was too high, and I'm already 39 weeks already. So between 39 weeks and between 36 and 40 weeks you do. 36 weeks is full term. A baby's treated as full term. That's already 9 months. So I really thought I would have a babe with this video or doing my makeup, but yeah, I just wanted to have a one-on-one. I don't want to make it very long, yeah, but do grab a drink because it's gonna be longish, but I don't want to make it very, very long because I don't think you guys want to sit here listening to me talk. Yeah, well, even though you guys like me and I like you guys and I love talking and I really want to share my experience, you might get some hope out of it. But yeah, the story goes as that. I get to the clinic, high blood is very high. Sister because I had to do tests on my heart and the irregular heartbeat and not irregular heartbeat, accelerated heartbeat. I really didn't want to go to ANC antenatal clinic as a friend because there was a friend beforehand horror stories about it and I just was not up to it. So in mind dodge because I remember end of the year I was supposed to go, but I'm like, I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna go when I come back. Yeah, which was obviously in Jan because I was done with school. So I ended up going back there and Freya treated me very well. I'm like, no, but yeah, I mean yeah, the time was around 11. Yeah, but I could pay to look great. And guys, the one thing you need to submit yourself when it comes to public facilities, especially health facilities, is that mind your P's and Q's, guys. Those people are under immense pressure. I kind of understand why they are the way they are because they say build a house without the tools. They're very much under-resourced and understaffed, and there's guys. I just have a feeling, I have an inkling in me that there were more people in maternity than there were in the actual hospital. Yeah, well, so they are very, very overwhelmed just as is. So you just don't want to add to the pressure. Just as tall bit guys. But it's fine. Just leave them because you're not there forever, and that's their job. That's their life that they've chosen. So just make their job a tad bit easier. You need to reconcile yourself to the process and literally just give yourself time. But in my case, obviously, from there on, I was transferred to the clinic. To the clinic especially. Guys, half 4. What was the bags? So that much. And prepare and this is clinic because my estimated due date was on the 30th of March 2022. So around that time, I've got a good 5 days, and we had just moved, and we're just trying to get settled in and stuff like that. And admission tab. But the best you can do is call your partner as an I'm like, yo, my partner as an as was not being designed. And baby bag was bought because what I had done was, was packed. What I had done is lay by stuff, and then towards mid-month, but it wasn't much. And now so the up in the 8 pennies, I was the lap with Raba, it pairs as the lap, it toilets as I was the lap. So I knew from the last land, and then I called him. I'm like, babe, just come pick me up. I'm giving birth. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, they've already admitted me. So I'm basically asking for a pass out because I'm admitted in Google just to go fetch my stuff. The time now is around 5:30. Shift that change again. So my sister was the ANC ndizayithatha into zam endlini ndicela asebendibhukishe in ku-admissions ke ngoku yabo. So ayifake nyhani ifayile abathe siyatshayisa thina ngoku so khawuleza, but ke basically ndizakuyaleza kusister ndizawutshintsha naye. Thank you very much. And the only reason that was seamless was because I was polite. And I was basically submitting myself to the process of nam bendingayazi. And ndinachika uba nifuna ndithini akhange xa nabo semele uba ndiyacela. Ndiyazithoba, ndiyacela uba ndikwenza nokunyani. Starting to panic now. Boyfriend comes and picks me up. I try to pack my stuff. What am I packing? I'm going to do a delayed video on what I had in my hospital bag and baby essentials, so stay tuned for that. Even today I might shoot it because I'm in the mood. Anyway guys, long story short, I get to the hospital. Nyani shift chinchile ndihlale guys because bed. Phoba abantu admitted nababona sebemkile because ibed bezikhona ngoku siphelile because bed. Into bandihlele nabantu abayi6 mhlawumbi apha. And ke bayalunywa bona. Phinde kufika nabanye apha kwa-admissions they're literally in active labor. Bayahla bayenyuka zonke ezaa zinto zobeleka uzibona on TV, they're exactly like that, but 10 times worse. There's no editing part, there's no acting, it's literally real life. 4K HD live, guys. But anyway, guys, I sit on the chair. What I keep kuyalala ezitulweni apha. Phofu kukho ii-recliners ezindala ezibokoboko and ke abo bafike kuqala nabadala ke bazifumene. Abanye sebendlale phantsi. Ndathi no man. No. Now ndifikayo ndifika I think it's a CTG, but it's basically to monitor the baby's heartbeat. You know, she's doing fine. Now iswekile yakho, I mean iswekile yakho, i-pressure yakho sephezulu, but it's manageable. So I sit there kubethwa 7. Sengene ishift entsha ke ngoku. Bethu half 7. Zelu 8 ngoku. And I'm like to the sisters, sister sizawuhlala apha kude kuthini. Athi andela amakhobheti ndithi andibuzi ngajiki sendibuza uba kuzokwazi ngantoni apha during the night. Athi usister kuthi bana no, nothing much is going to happen. You're going to have to wait for beds tomorrow so that you can get attended to because nothing's going to happen in the passage. Yeah, and this time, I think they were serving dinner or supper, whatever already. And sana yenye macaroni and cheese and the other up. But guys, I know I shouldn't be complaining because at least they're getting food because there's public institutions that have no food like Baragwanath and stuff like that. But at least nobody don't like it, but it's got nothing on prison food. Side note. And I'm sitting there and I call my boyfriend. I'm like, no, I'm going to ask to go sleep at home and then I'm going to come back. Yeah, and yeah, I feel like black on black treatment is very much wayward. Primarily, I'm saying this to say that because I went up to them and I'm like, sister, since you said the doctor's not going to see us today, it's only going to be a thing because Betty and basically nothing's going to happen during the night. Can I not go home and come back tomorrow morning? As soon as you guys, before you guys leave, give me a time to come back. I promise you I'll be back. They're like, hey, so now the thing of that, yes, we can let you out type of thing, but LLB with 14 distinctions. Hi doc, how are you? Fine, thanks and you. Lovely doc, I can see the situation is dire and you guys are under so much pressure and I really respect you guys, the work you guys do, but please may I sleep at home. I live literally down the road in Cambridge. So and now we had moved to Cambridge. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say to you guys, but now we had moved to Cambridge because we're living in Sunny Ridge when I was living with my boyfriend initially, then we moved to Cambridge, so I was closer to my clinic and basically closer to Fred. So I'm like, can I please go home and sleep there? Just tell me what time to come in tomorrow morning because obviously nothing's gonna happen during the night. Doctor was absolutely pleasant, some Indian guy. He's like, yeah, of course, let me just sign you out. She's like, make it pass out basically. Be back here before 6. So basically I was admitted on the 23rd. So now I go back home, I sleep. What sleep? Baby, nice 4:30. And I was basically booked in for a natural birth. No C-section can't get it. I was going to be induced because of my high blood pressure. So basically now we're home and I'm finishing packing up. I can't sleep. I thought I was going to be able to sleep. I can't sleep. I feel like, guys, the last time I actually slept, I'm like, what is in the world. Obviously Nkachangundana was probably on the 22nd or the 22nd or the 21st of March. The last time and I didn't care then baby would kick to remind me, but obviously now she was full term, so her movements were limited because there was no more space. As much as it was a small baby, her movements were very limited, but it was nothing alarming because you'll always know when you've lost your baby or anything, but I wasn't concerned. But when they say to me, I'm going to give birth, I guess, so again, we pray, we call his mom. The first thing he did is call his mom because it's such a mommy's baby. He called his mom. I'm like, chill, relax. Let's call your mom when I'm settled because now we're all going to be panicking and that's not that long. I cause bait and I because maternity. I want to something. So Nyange, 4:30, I wake up, I switch on the keys, I go back for a nap. I think it was 3:30. I woke up and switched on the keys. I started bathing at 4:30 and I tied it up. By 5:15, we left the house. Nyange, by 5:45, I was already at the hospital. 5:30, I was already at the hospital. The sisters were there, but I was CTG, Kapinde, and they're like, yo, and the guys, I just started crying because I'm like, that was my mom. That was literally my mom speaking through me. But I don't know what doing now. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but the options are there for you. Open your mouth. Your mom would always say, because I grew up a very quiet baby. I used to suck my thumb and quiet. My mom was always concerned about me, especially when so I said, so it was literally her, guys. But I've never been in the court. Option because people as far as our north come to Frey Hospital because it's one of the better hospitals within the region of the Eastern Cape. So yeah, I'm gonna give like US maternity. So abantu many complications, but as far as our north so obviously if you can't get, you're obviously gonna sleep on the couch. But if you have an option of going home, again, what's stopping you from imali so that was literally my mom. So yeah, the baby is fine. I wait again. Kuseve yonke breakfast. Ngihlele kwezazitulo ngona mhlele kwi-recliner kaloku abantu sebe-shiftile type of thing ke ngoku. Ndikhomba ke ndim lo 24 ke ngoku yabo. So ke basically but they serve breakfast. It's basically tea, nesdudu, and some bread with a bit of butter. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. I was still fine. My boyfriend's panicking. No, I haven't gone to bed. So yeah, at around 12, I get a bed. I get admitted. And while I was going for my visits, during my pregnancy, and they'd always be like, okay, fear mongering. Honestly, because it's not even that bad. That fearmonger, which can help me because I didn't have a lot of luggage and things to worry about. But like nobody barely phoned is out teeny, but I got to a very lovely ward. Her water had leaked out, so she was there for a good 3 months or 4 months. Was discharged. It was a nice time because I hadn't been around pregnant women, so got kala and stuff like that. So at around 4, I think, at around 4, a doctor comes in. But my best check is and they're very much hands-on. Hence I'm saying there's really no need to be rude to these nurses because I honestly feel that they're trying their best. However, they're under-resourced, guys. And I'll tell you why this became more apparent as the story goes on. And you're under-resourced. So basically, at around 4, the doctor comes in and explains to me how my induction is going to go. And I'm pushing her, yes, talk, so I'm just basically the involved, guys. As much as I'm the Iraqi, but and guys, anyone who knows me like I am going to low ne chicken so this doctor was a young student doctor or an intern, but not an intern, but she was young basically. So besinqola nje like yo sound imagination meet yo nkapatiya wonke wehleka. So she's explaining to me bazawufaka in and have you been for a pap smear? I'm like no. So bazawuvula imlomo basically. They're trying to open my womb so that they can break my water. That's basically what induction, the first phase of induction entails. And then thereafter, if that doesn't work, they're gonna administer imiso. So imiso basically is a medicine that they put in a drip, which also is part of induction, which is phase 2. But if between phase 1 and phase 2 doesn't work, and then they're gonna monitor the baby 24/7, then they'll decide by whether it's cesarean. Because I'm like, what's gonna happen? What's the deal? What's the end game? But guys, call it a balloon. I don't want to go too much into detail, but the balloon, guys, they're attached to the mouth of your womb, and they put a water bottle with a string that you have to hang over your bed. So basically, the water drop bottle and the weight is basically going to open up your wound up until it falls on the floor. Then the bulb, it's called the bulb, is going to fall out, and then it's going to open your womb. Very archaic. It's not painful, but it's very, very much uncomfortable. You have things that are contractions, but in the midst of everything that I heard in labor ward, guys, it's a matter of I had very light contractions. It's like period pains. So I pulled my go-to balloon and came up with a membrane, with a bloody membrane. Came out with a bloody membrane, and then I took it, and then I noted in my bed it was 2:30. So when the nurses came in again for rounds, to do the rounds, I told them it came out. They're like, no, just put it in the waste bucket. We'll see you in the morning type of thing. So now guys, but I can't, guys, especially throughout. But anyway, in the morning at around 6-7, the doctors come in and they basically checked how dilated I was, and the most that I was dilated, I think, was about 5 centimeters. I think it was 5 centimeters. Then they put the CTG on me for about a good 2 hours, and now it's around 12 1. So the doctor was very nice to me because I was like minding my P's and Q's, and I wonder why is she so lucky, but I'm like, man polite, and I'm like because I'm very social, and again the lapa guys, I can't down to I want to live on iPhone because my iPhone is a big stressor out, so just be in the moment. So oh savuka ekuseni saqala sahlamba ngo-6 kodwa wahlambani labe senenze ichomi sama sobabini omnye makasigadele ifoni tontontoni wathi yonceda nafika kumkela inye iphara apha. So it was a good time, guys. Given the circumstances, I had a good time in that ward. So basically at around 4 kungene, and the young doctor ke lo seyichomi yami ngoku beba ngudoctor bani, it doesn't matter anyway. Afike kum athi is getting so long. Okay, I'm not gonna go past 30 minutes. The doctor comes to me and is like, the baby is kind of going into distress, but don't panic. So we are going for an emergency C-section. Induction did not work, so we're gonna go for an emergency C-section. Oh, and before we slept, my boyfriend bought me supper, but yeah, I was about you just nibbling, and then I had bananas and I was eating fruit all the time. So don't sit down like, oh, I'm gonna feast, because I didn't have an appetite throughout my own pregnancy, so I don't think I want to start when I was gonna give birth anyway. So anyway, the doctor's like, we're gonna have an emergency section. I'm like, what time? They're like, we don't know, but we've put you on the board. Doesn't look busy, but yeah, I've put you on the board, type of thing. So guys, so around, I think about 5, 6, the anesthesiologist comes in. She gives me a consent form. She explains, like, have they explained to him, like, no. Then she starts from the beginning. She's a white lady. She explains to me what to expect and do I consent, and I'm like, yeah, it's a lot, but yeah, I'm signing my life for it, basically. Basically, and blood transfusion, do you consent to that if you need blood, and so I consent because I'm like, I'm consent because a West class is going into distress. But funny enough, I felt very, very calm, guys. And the one thing which I forgot, which I think I forgot on purpose, because it goes as saying tandas, okay, tandas, forefront tandas. At around 2:07. Something to 7, a black doctor comes in, and he really looked like an uncle, like not necessarily my uncle, but maybe my mom, one of my mom's friends. Athi hi, Pumela Kutu, and the doctor, and the surname was familiar. I'm like, and I'm like, I look at him like, ban, cutting the quas. I want the name on you what I wanted. No, you look like my uncle, like you look like an uncle. What you go up, person, go, what's he back into that? Yeah, I'm a and like, just like that, what told him, see. So yeah, I'm taking this walk down with them. They literally came to fetch the anesthesiologist. So by they prepped me for theater at around 5. They prepped me for theater, but okay, so so basically I'll go staffed. Fed basically. I said fed, but they don't eat, don't drink anything. They place the pressure so seller whenever, man check pressure guys, and I think also the nerves of having to give birth. So ultimately they woke me into theater, and guys, not that I was scared, but again I was very much alert of everything was happening around me. Like, this is really happening, I'm really having a child. But I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. So I get there, and then they prepare the sisters. And these sisters weren't necessarily nice. They were very cold. Yeah, that's the word. They were very cold and very distant. And I think also that's to do with their job, because so again, the anesthesiologist explains to me again what's gonna happen. And then this is where shit started going south and getting so scary, guys. Kindly throughout my pregnancy because of windows of me bad and being overwhelmed, but kindly yay sana caba inality ezawusetyenziswa because my obviously because I'm bigger, yabo, there's a lot more layers to get through to get to my spine, to numb my spine. Obviously not going to put me completely under. They were going to numb from my waist down type of thing because babezantsika phansi kwesusu. So le nalithi fambe ifika phaa kuncindi ayikho ukuthi ixelwe ku-office kazi bani abanazo ezinye. Yo guys, ndingasathandazi, and they kept trying different lanes. Ayidifike kama kusemqolweni wam okendihlele so guys, okendihlele so kusemqolweni wam and zonke guys ezi drugs zibizwa midazoline, fentanyl, tonto. I'm like, but these are lethal injection drugs, obviously guys, different doses, but I'm like, all the death row documentaries I love watching or reading in my head, I'm like, midazoline, fentanyl, tonto. I'm like, I know guys, they are fun up, but it took them a good 20 minutes. Imagine I'm hunched over guys, but straighten your back and hunch yourself over workshop so that they can think. Eventually guys, after long do yafumaneka inaliti after benzamile nonifaka under completely, they're like, have you eaten? I'm like, I've been eating the whole day. They only told me around 2 that I'm going, whatever time they told me that I'm going to go have surgery. They're like, yo, go fed, and everyone is panicking now because I'm like, I can't go under, because the only panic was I'm alone. And the most fucked up thing, to some extent, was that the Monday, when the discharge of COVID restrictions were going to be lifted, because you usually are allowed a partner in to give, like, when you are in labor or going in for a C-section. But because of COVID, they had stopped that. But on the Monday, but it was fine either way, guys, because I don't think any man wants to see that or even be in the maternity ward, because it's a ward with 8 people. So, I don't think it's somewhere that you would want to go visit. They were in a public facility. But anyway, eventually, that's the first time I was getting warm, that I'm gonna get warm. Akubanda theater, guys. Akubanda. My guardian angel was literally that white woman, that anesthesiologist, and everyone was laughing because when I got there, we had some gospel, like some praise songs, praise and worship songs. But I was I'm like, they end up warming up to me, because one of the sisters said to me, Tandaza, and I'm like, so they see my tattoo and I'm scared, and I even cried. I'm gonna have to put you under, and everyone was panicking. Now my brain is everywhere at the same time. But that's when the only time I cried. I'm like, yo, I can't go under. So I was teeny those and I'm alone, I continue to pray. But what did you want to try again? I'm like, yeah, let me go okay this time. All these punctures are going through one back. And I'm going to numb, so eventually I start going numb. I had the procedure of the C-section, and then my guardian angel, who was the white anesthesiologist, was like explaining everything to me. You're gonna feel this. I couldn't feel anything. They're cutting through this now. You're gonna feel them push your tummy down and everything. So now eventually, I feel them pushing my tummy down. They're like, here's the baby. So basically, all I could hear, she's so small, she's full term, she's full term, and she was screaming, go, I said, she's so small. I'm like, and she's like, here's baby. And then she was crying, yeah. And then they brought her to me. And then she's like, can you see what she is? A guy, she was just literally all clit. That's all I can say. She was all clit. And then she had hair. And she was small. But the thing is, I couldn't see a small. All babies are small. And I had nothing to compare it to. But this is a big baby or a small baby. She was just a baby to me. She was white. But I think it was like, is it remnants or is it residues or whatever coming from there. Then Nyanba social up, guys, and that's when I feel like God was there with me, because obviously I didn't see my scar or anything, but nothing, because I didn't even like no pain, no nothing. So now so they transfer you to a room to monitor your heart rate and everything, and your high blood pressure and everything, like your baby and clean and stuff like that. And I'd given her the name Kuye because I wanted her name to be Kuye Uyehofa. But it was a large debate because I wanted Kuye/Uyehofa Goduka at the time. That's how I wanted her name to be. And then her grandma is basically a Xhosa teacher or Xhosa expert. Like, so I forgot that name just for respect. Because I'm not, I am short nation. It was just a long thing. So, okay, but basically, is so, okay, they wheel me out. So, on the way, they wheel you out to take you to the ward which you're going to sleep in. On the way, they wheel you out, they give you your baby. And I'm like, hi, I'm but you go to but I tell now. I'm the name Slope. Where didn't guys. Hi, Kenyan, and you can't move when you have a C-section. You have to lie flat because should you move, you risk basically getting disabled because you might snap your spine because I move. You have no control over it, so you have to lie flat. Now they're giving you a baby. Yeah, but so they wheel us. They get into the elevator. They wheel us into a ward with the only people there. Kumnyama phofu apha yazi guys cinyiwe apha akho mntu ungxolayo ke futhi abantwana they don't cry that much at that age at that time because it was literally about I gave birth at 7:30 yabo, so it was around about 9 o'clock. So yeah, then has been born for 2 hours. They're like Nganisa, and I had press on nails guys, and my nipple is very 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 small. I have 0 nipples yabo, but in Nganisa I had to snap off because I couldn't grab my nipple. I had to snap off. And guys, I just got so tired and overwhelmed. I'm the only person here. Yeah, and I called the nurse's nurse. I'm like, I called like cotton, like I watch too much movies clearly. I'm like, is there no what you call this? Is there no cot for me to put the baby? They're like, no. Where do you think you are, type of thing. The only time we offer you a cot is if you have a twin, and only one of that at that. Yeah, if you have twins. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? The time that's okay, the carry on praying. But again, we'll straight, and guys can't move. Literally that. I'm like that. Eventually, my baby slept, Kenyani, and now and obviously things are like by 5-6 hours now. You're trying to move your legs and everything, and I was trying to move my legs half the time. I'm sorry, I don't even. This is not right, I know. And Shami, I was one of the lucky ones because you were not supposed to do it, but I had to move around. I just couldn't lie. And then obviously there's people coming in. There was another. So it's by 2. It's by 2 for the longest time, and then 3, 4 eventually. Yeah, but I was the matriarch of the ward, and because eventually I was nice to the nurse that was basically my night nurse. Before she left, she's like, ubana ngoku uzawuphakama usule umntanakho umtshintshe her first poo, then uzoye wena umbeke ecaleni, then ngoku uzoye wena. She helped me change my bed. She was so sweet, guys. She gave me a clean blanket because everything was bloody, guys. Everything is bloody. We tidied everything up, and you're very thirsty. So I woke up, I got myself some water, I did eat banana, then I morphine. But anytime you feel pain or you feel like it's coming, busy morphine, pain meds. And she was so sweet, guys. Like, I'll never forget her. Yeah, and I don't even know about sister, but it's because of my P's and Q's. So guys, she gave me a clean gown, and windows especially like but king at even save like guys, pinky cute. I shake most of the bopanj one basically. Yo, she was so sweet, guys. She gave me a clean blanket. That's like she remember the first day. I saw Lizzie and I got called off from that ward. I was moved to another ward and Benando, and I start walking. That working and I've woke up. You can just clean out your catheter. Come and get my catheter. I not don't have to get up for anything. But I was very active. Nobody was figuring out about phone man's about James and Amulele. She was so sweet, Shannon. She was so sweet. And the mother do namas. But yeah, the long and short of it all, from that ward, I was moved to another one which I didn't like because it was probably 16 beds and I was just overwhelmed in the little corner. But then I was being like, at around thinking, I started getting overwhelmed at around 11. They're like, no, we are going your ward. You're basically on your way out because you're fine. I'll phone you guys, I'll phone nothing, you're absolutely fine. Nomsigo wako is coming on now, right? Like there's no concern. But just she's underweight. Guy NICU, she's absolutely okay. Everyone's checking up on me. I'm sending photos. I'm a mom now. But the funniest thing, like with the manual. I know I'm speaking a lot of Vena guys, but this is like not scripted and I'm close first and foremost. So in the manual is literally because I had to Google how to put the baby down. And Google says put the baby on the back. So the nurses found me having put her on her back. And they're like, and get baby. And I'm like, guys, literally, it's different strokes for different folks. Because to avoid SIDS, but especially because of whatever reason, the professionals, health professionals said, but yeah, we get moved from that ward, and now it's around 11. I go to another ward, which is basically on my way out. I think G4, whatever the case was, but gets basically towards the door. I get there. Yo, I say because that's basically, it's one of three things, guys. I'm done. It's either fun not one of three things. Can you fun ukutya? Can you fun change napkin? Check napkin, right? I can't all night. Hey, then I'm a color, guys. And they were teaching me basically. And I'm expressing with my hands because other ones, they were able to express in calves. I'm like, I can't do and I feel like I can attach that to the fact that basically I had a C-section and I did not have a very easy pregnancy. So it's now that I've done enough research, it's normal basically for your milk not to come in for a while if you had issues during your pregnancy and C-sections, because it's not happening naturally. There's some invasion in your body. So I didn't have any milk, guys. This is now day 1 that she's born, and I thought she was feeding. In the morning, son, and that hi son, ndicela ufonele pana yami, ndicela kwa sister in charge, that sister ndicela uyothenga iformula ndizokwazi kwaye uza neformula. Because I think there's basically a rule that children need to be breastfed in South Africa. There's no option of, there used to be, before HIV had Nevirapine and all those drugs, there used to be formula available so that HIV mothers do not breastfeed. So they used to be given formula. But go akho formula esibhedlela. Hey, ayisana ndabuzwa lesebenceda eCambridge ba thenge formula what S26 gold. Ndithumelela nyani boyfriend yami. Yaza nazo ne flask namanzi ashushu ndawafumana ekitchen, ndiyacenga imusa kuhamba ucenga you butter basically butterisha ngobubele bakho type of thing, because literally you're not buttering anything physical. But anyway, then I'm namqala ngoformula ngolo hlobo ke. So she was fine, she was thriving. Following day, doctor says you're fine. The only thing you do is to pass stools to see if everything is working. Right, and it's relax on son. But ke kula ward nyani bekumandi silila sikhala ndakhala guys ngumntana mqumbu uyabhubha sana uyayoba. Nesambe ncancisa I'm like akho bisi, ncancisa I'm like akho bisi. Yabo, ngoko ndiza neformula aqomba bane chicken nqamanasa nesikhathi sibani. That's when my motherly intuition kicked in, I think full time. And my cousins had said to me who came to visit me, trust your instinct. Trust your instinct. That's the only thing that's gonna set you free. But basically on the Monday, which was the 27th, 25, it'll be Friday, 26, 27, 28, we were discharged. Past those, Yana got home, thriving, beautiful. She was everything I imagined and more, guys. She was everything I imagined and more. And yes, she was underweight, but she had no other complications thereafter. At her 3-day check-up, it was basically a matter of everything is fine. She had gained the weight. She was 2.6 then, and then she's been thriving since. And yeah, man, guys, the only thing now I would advise you to close off this video is that if you're using public facilities, it's not all that bad. Yes, the physical structures are dilapidated, but it's just the government of the day. This video is not about that, obviously, but yeah, Naban, just be easy on them who work there. It's their passion, it's their chosen careers. but just be respectful and be courteous. But you'll get so much more of a better experience. It's not all that bad, smart, and I'm very grateful for my child. Even my aftercare, yeah, well, was easy, because my I didn't even have stitches. I didn't have to go back to take out stitches, or to the clinic to take out stitches. And as guys, ngathi nix smart, ngathi khange ndibeleke, yabo. Unothi ndilomntana uyawubona nje ngoba nanku and 10 fingers and toes. But yeah, guys, I think I'll stop it there. I'll follow up with a hospital essentials, or what I had in my maternity bag, and basically baby essentials. So yeah, see you in the next one.